Item number 13. And the wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament are the authors of the Kabbalah. They are the ones who exert in the brightness called the Book of Zohar, which is like Noah's Ark, gathering 2 from a town and 7 kingdoms, and sometimes 1 from a town and 2 from a family, in whom the words, every son that is born you shall cast into the river, come true. The Torah is called the son, the newborn is the attained. Into the river means the light of the Torah. Cast is like you will study it, where you study each insight that is born in you by the light of Torah and by its soul. This is the light of this book of Zohar, and it is all because of you.
קטע מספר 14. אשרינו מה טוב חלקנו שזכינו לאורו ללך ולהגות באמרי נועם מזיו זוהר.
Exit number 14. Happy and blessed are we, who were rewarded with his light, to walk and ponder the pleasant words of the upper illumination of the holy light. Its taste is sweet, and it is altogether delightful, unending waters without limit, to understand and know the acts of creation and the works of the Merkavah, and how to be a chariot, to unite and restore the souls to its source, to the root it was hewed from. And this was determined and rooted in my soul. Whoever has not seen the light of the Book of Zohar has never seen light.
Passage number 15. The existence of the Israelis depends on the Book of Zohar, to study with joy and delight, with pleasantness and fear and love, each according to his ability and sanctity, for all of Israel are holy. 16. Each and every letter in the Book of Zohar and the writings of our great teacher, by Rav Chaim Vital, are great corrections for the soul to correct all the incarnations. 17. A truly new light will be renewed for him at every moment, until an actual new creation is made by the means of the Zohar. 18. I heard from Baal HaSulam that each day the Book of Zohar has a new interpretation. 19. The advantage of studying the Book of Zohar is already known, as the Holy Ari said that one day of studying the Book of Zohar and the secrets of Torah is worth a whole year of study in the Pshat. 20. When he studied the Zohar, he cried much until he was rewarded with understanding. 21. It's written, you shall meditate in it day and night, and it's not written, you shall understand it day and night. If you understand, understand. If not, the reward for your study is in your hand. The proof from the Book of Zohar is that even though one does not understand, the language is a remedy for the soul.
'One who has not been rewarded with understanding the Zohar should study it nevertheless, because the language of the Zohar purifies the soul.
23. ידוע שלימוד הזוהר מסוגל מאוד מאוד, ודע שעל ידי לימוד הזוהר נעשה חשק, והלשון הקדוש...
It's known that the study of the Zohar is very, very beneficial, and one should know that by studying the Zohar, one receives a yearning, and the holy language of the Zohar awakens greatly towards the service of the Creator. 24.
אך בהיותו כמו ארעי, היה נקרא ברית של עמוד אחד, דהיינו של קשר אחד.
Until the time of the assembly, although they were connected with a covenant between them, but because it was temporary, it was called the covenant in one column, meaning one time. And now Rashbi wishes to connect them to the second time, to have a strong and fast connection, and the correction that will result from them will be great correction. Already these 10 friends were truly connected in their root in the 10 chasadim of Abba V'Imam, as stated by the words of the Holy Ari, and Rashbi was the Yesod itself and connected them. Now is the correction of the assembly. The covenant was tightened with 2 ties, and from there on there is no Satan and an evil blemish. 25. All those friends who do not love each other depart the world before their time. All the friends in Rashbi's time had love of soul and love of spirit among them. This is why in his generation the secrets of Torah were revealed. Rabbi Shimon would say, all the friends who do not love each other cause themselves to stray from the right path. Moreover, they put a blemish in the Torah. Since there is love, brotherhood, and truth in the Torah, Abraham loved Isaac, Isaac loved Abraham, and they were embraced, and they were both gripped. Jacob with love and brotherhood, and were giving their spirit to one another. The friends should be like them and not blemish them. For if love is lacking in them, they will blemish their value above, that is, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, which are Chagat. 26.
26.
The Creator is destined to open the eyes, for there has never been wisdom that would gaze upon upper wisdom and attain that was attained in this world, so they would know their Master. Happy are the righteous who are rewarded with that wisdom, for there is no wisdom like that wisdom, no knowing like that knowing, and no adhesion like that adhesion. 27. Since Israel are destined to taste from the tree of life, which is the book of Zohar, they will come out of exile with mercies.
Friends, we'll be reading from Vayikra on item number 10. We're starting at the first correction of this cloud.
מבוסס על סדרת ספרי
The lesson is based on Zohar for all. You can download the books at cab.tv or order them at 1-700-509-209. Hello. We are reading from Zohar for all. Vayikra, item 10, on the last paragraph, the first correction of this cloud. You can watch online at cab.tv, and you can ask questions there too. And selected questions will be asked in the lesson. Vayikra, item 10, last paragraph.
We will try to be together, think about the unity, and the Book of Zohar will help us connect, and then it will be revealed in us as well. Please.
Again, Vayikra, item 10, the last paragraph. The first correction of this cloud. The first correction of this cloud was on the first shift of those 4 camps of divinity, which is the Malchut side in them, before everything was corrected in the middle line. This is the Rosh that is to the right side, Tzadkiel, the superior appointee, superior to all the camps that are under the governance of Michael. With him, all those camps were corrected under his hand, and one appointee was established over 4 times 3, meaning 3 angels on the side of Malchut, of the 4 sides of Michael, on which the small letter Aleph of Vayikra sparkles. 11. From within, from the side of Malchut, which is Tiferet, Raziel is the superior appointee, superior to all the camps, and stands within the under governance of Michael, Chesed. And with him are all the camps under his hands. And one appointee, called Romiel, stands atop them at the gate, surrounded by 12 appointees, 3, 3, 4 times. For itself, Tiferet from the side of Tiferet consists of 12. This is because there are 3 angels on this side. Michael is Chesed, the Tiferet. Raziel is Gvura, the Tiferet. And Romi is Tiferet, the Tiferet. And within Tiferet, the Tiferet, there are 12 as well, like the rest of Michael's 4 sides. Raziel, the superior appointee, stands over all of them, and his name is not changed. 1 letter sparkles over the heads of all those camps, the letter Reish. When it sparkles, everyone travels to the side of that sparkling. This letter is posed to punish those who reveal secrets, and your sign is poverty and shame, where the name poverty, Reish, indicates the name. 12. Within the side of Tiferet is Gvura. Yofiel is the superior appointee, and is appointed over the camps under the governance of Michael. All those camps that were under his hand were corrected along with him. Here the camps were not revealed in the count, which is illumination of Chokhmah, that applies in the left line, which is Gvura, since they were not completed here until they came to the eternal house, the temple that Solomon had made, where they were all completed and the camps grew to completeness. And what we said here about the tabernacle before they were completed means that all those camps that were under the hands of Yofi were given at that time to enter with him, and one appointee stands atop them, whose name is Chachmi, and 12 appointees surround him, 3 on each side. It turns out that there are 3 angels on the side of Gvura as well, Michael, Yofi, and Chachmi, which are Chagat of the side of Gvura. And Chachmi, Tiferet of Gvura, comprises 12 within him like the whole, since Tiferet is always inclusive. And Yofi, the superior appointee, stands atop them all, for his name was not changed. The letter Kof Kuf, sparks on the side of Kvura over the heads of all those camps. When she sparkles, everyone travels to the side of the sparkling. This letter Kuf hangs in the air, and the dinim in her surrender 3 times a day through illumination of the 3 upper lines of Zeranpin, which is called day. However, before she is mitigated by the 3 lines, she rises and falls, meaning the Chokhmah in her is drawn down, and then she is in dinim. At that time, of these 2 letters, Kof, Reish, the letters that stand in the middle of the world, Vaikra, one covers the letter Aleph of Vaikra, and one covers the letter Yod of Vaikra. After letter Kuf, when you begin from Malchut, which is Aleph. 14. From within the side of Kvura, it is Chesed, Kedumi, who is the superior appointee over all the camps under the governance of Michael. With him, all those camps under his name are corrected, and one appointee stands over them at the gate, whose name is Ari, which is surrounded by 12 appointees, 3 on each side of the 4 sides. Also, there are 3 angels on this side of Chesed. Michael is Chesed de Chesed, Kedumi is Gvura de Chesed, and Ari is Tiferet de Chesed. Within it, Ari consists of 12, like the whole, and the appointee Kedumi, whose name never changes, stands over them. The letter Yod stands over their heads, and when it sparkles, everyone travels to that sparkling that sparkles. The letter Kuf covers the letter Yod, and the Reish covers the Aleph of Vaikra. 15. At the very insides, in the holy place, in Bina, the letter Vav sparkles in hiding and concealment. This is the middle line, and the origin of its exit rises and determines between the 2 lines, right and left of Bina. This letter Vav sparkles in sparkling over all the letters, meaning deciding between right and left of all the letters in Zeranpin and in Malchut. A voice comes out from the midst of those letters, which is the Vav, called voice. It is unheard in Bina, but here in the letters of Zeranpin and Malchut, a voice that is heard comes out. Then it mitigates the letters Kuf Reish, and the letters of Yikra are opened from their blocking. Then the sparkling of the Vav strikes the sparkling of the letter Yod, and the sparkling of the Vav that emerged from the holy place Bina strikes the sparkling that the letter Yod opens from its blocking, and it shines. 16. Then the sparkling of the letter Yod strikes the sparkling of the letter Kuf, and sparkling of the letter Kuf means comes out and strikes the sparkling of the letter Reish. And all those sparkles come out and unite inside the sparkling of the standing letter Aleph, meaning Malchut, which receives everything that is in the Yakar and Chagat. Then a voice comes out and strikes all those sparkles of letters together, to join them together into reading. The sparkling of the letter Vav in Yod, sparkling of the Yod in Kof, sparkling of the Kuf in Reish, and sparkling of the Reish in Aleph. Then, engravings, sparkles of the letters, conjoin and go off to their actions. Since after the sparkles unite, a voice comes out from them, and joins in the combination of, and called unto Moses. And Moses was observing all those days, and did not enter the tent of meeting, which is Malchut. After the sparkling of the Vav, which is the middle line, arrived from Ima, and united the 2 lines of the letters Yod and Kof, the blocking of the letters Kuf Reish was opened, and not only did the lights from the letters Yod and Aleph not interfere, they even imparted their lights into the Yod and Aleph, and they illuminated together in the combination of Vaikra. Vav imparted to Yod, Yod to Kuf, Kuf to Reish, and Reish to Aleph. And when all the lights that sparkle over these four letters opened, and the four Merkavot of the right side of Malchut, which is Michael, received their illumination, Moses could promptly come to the tent of meeting, and the opening of the lights of the four letters, Yud, Kuf, Reish, Aleph, is considered a calling and an invitation for Moses to come to the tent of meeting. And Moses, who was observing all those days when he did not enter the tent of meeting, observed the difference, that before the Vav imparted, there was governance to the dinim in the letters Kuf Reish, which covered all the lights in the Yod and Aleph, as well as the illumination of the letters Kuf and Reish themselves. This is why Moses could not come to the tent of meeting. But now, after the Vav illuminated, meaning the middle line, when all four lights in the letters Yud, Kuf, Reish, Aleph were opened, he could come to the tent of meeting. By observing this distinction, he understood the calling and the invitation to come to the tent of meeting. 17. Afterwards, the letters returned and were rolling in their engravings in the letter combination that was given to Adam HaRishon in the Garden of Eden. Aleph, Malchut, went inside the concealment to the place called Holiness, Ima. And the Vav came out and gave room for the Aleph at the beginning of the word. Then the Aleph joined with the Vav, after which they are Kuf Reish, with the Yod, Chesed, entering between the Kuf and the Reish, making it Kuf Yod Reish. Then they were carved and sparkled as in the beginning, and a voice, middle line, came out from among them, and the sparkles of the letters conjoined came out and appeared to all the camps that were going with those letters, which are the camps of the four Merkavot of Michael. And when the sparkles of the letters unite in the combination, a voice strikes among them, and the engravings are seen to all the Merkavot in the combination, Aleph, Vav, Kuf, Yod, Reish, pronounced Okir, I will cherish. Then the voice returns from them and calls among the Merkavot, I will make man more rare than gold, and mankind than the pure gold of Ophir. After all the lights of Chagat in the combination Vaikra imparted to the small Aleph of Vaikra, the Aleph, Malchut, was filled with blessings and illuminated in the illumination of Chochmah in her, and rose to Ima. Then the Malchut of Vaikra became more important than Zeranpin. As it is written, a virtuous woman is her husband's crown. It turns out that the Aleph, Chochmah, rose before Vav. Zeranpin is Chasadim, and the combination Aleph, Vav was created. The Kuf too, which is Gvura and left line, illuminated in the Chochmah in her, and ruled, and hence put herself before the Yod, Chesed, meaning Kuf Yod. This inverted the combination of Vaikra into the combination Okir, as in, I will make man more rare than gold, as this combination indicates the domination of the light of Chochmah. 18. Happy is Moses for seeing all that, but Moses did not see the combination Okir, but the first combination Vaikra. This combination was not revealed to him, because a person's praise is not told in his presence. Your sign is what is written, you three come out. It is also written, and he called Aaron and Miriam, and what is written, with him I speak mouth to mouth. And also, not so with my servant Moses. He said all that only to Aaron, and to Miriam, but not to Moses, since man's merit is not told in his presence. This means that the Creator does not reveal the merit of a degree to the one who attains it until that degree has gone, and he has been rewarded with a new degree. Then he reveals before him the praise and wholeness of the first. Thus the Creator does not reveal the praise of the degree to its face while it still exists. 19. The letters rose and returned in all the camps in the combination Okir. The voice came out and said, I will make man more rare than gold. Afterwards the letters extended and were sparkling over the heads of all those Milkavot, and they were appeased until they were corrected in their places. 20. The head to the left side, Malchut Hazkiel, is the superior appointee. He is superior to all the camps, all those that stand at the gate of the tabernacle, Malchut, under the governance of Gabriel. This is so because Michael governs the right side of Malchut. Gabriel governs her left, and with him all those camps under his hand are corrected, and one appointee was established on the gate from the outside, and his name is Gazriel. With him there are 12 appointees surrounding him, three to each side on 4 sides. The general Merkava is 12, Michael, Gabriel, Uri, Rapha, in each of which are 3 lines, Chagat, which are 12. Individually, each contains 12. Also, the 4 letters Yod, Kof, Resh, Aleph sparkle on the 12 of Michael. Here he explains the 12 in Gabriel, Huktum, where in each there is Chagat, as in Michael. First, he explains that Malchut in Gabri, in which there are 3 angels, Gabri, Hazki, and Gazri. Gazri alone, who is Tiferet on the side of Malchut, contains 12 as well. 21. It is written that they are the ones in whose hands the sword that turned every way is turning. This appointee, Hazki, stands over them, high above, inside. A single letter sparkles on their heads, the letter Aleph, the side of Malchut in Gabri. For those camps do not stand and do not travel, except in the letter Aleph on the right, in Malchut that comes out in Chasadim, right. This is because the left of Gabri travels only on the right, like clothing in Chasadim, and the right travels always on the left, in the inclusion of the left. Also, Aleph is the letter that sparkles and emerges from the right, meaning Malchut from the side of Chasadim, in her. Then all the camps travel to that place that sparkles, that sparkling. 22. Within the side of Malchut, on the side of Tiferet, it is the appointee, Rahati. He is superior to the camps, and stands inside, under the governance of Gavri. And with him are all the camps under his hand. And one appointee stands over them at the gate, whose name is Kadoshi, surrounded by 12 appointees, 4 times. And that appointee, Rahati, stands over all of them, for his name does not change. Here too there are 3 angels, Chagat, on the side of Tiferet, Gavri, Rahati, and Kadoshi. 1 letter sparkles over the heads of all the camps, and this letter is the letter Zayin, the side of Tiferet in Gavri. In the correction of the tabernacle, it is replaced by the letter Lamed, meaning it is mitigated in Bina, which is Lamed, the tower that floats in the air. And this is replaced. As it is written, water will flow from his buckets. Since the Bina is the bucket of Tiferet, the Zayin is replaced in the engravings of the letters, and it is called replacing of the Lamed. When this letter sparkles over the heads of all those camps, everyone travels to the side of that sparkling. 23. Within the side of Tiferet, on the side of Kvura, it is Kafzi, the superior appointee, superior to all the camps under the governance of Gavri. With him, all those camps under his hand are corrected, that is, those that were given to him at that time. And one appointee stands above them, whose name is Asa, and 12 appointees surround him, 3 to each side. Here, too, there are 3 angels, Chagat, on the side of Gvura of Gavri, Kafzi, and Asa. Asa himself, whose Tiferet contains 12, and Kafzi, the superior appointee, stands over all of them. Also 1 letter sparkles over the heads of all those camps, which is the letter Dalet, the side of Kvura in Gavri. Also, they all travel to the sparkling of that letter. That letter hangs in the air on 2 other letters, Aleph and Lamed. 24. Within the side of Gvura in Gavri, on the side of his Chesed, Shami is the superior appointee. This is replaced into 4 names because it cannot withstand its engravings. At times it is to the right, at times it is to the left, at times to the east, and at times to the west. He is named according to his service, and with him are 12 appointees that surround him, 3 to each side. Ragashi is the superior appointee over those 12 appointees, under that other appointee, Shami. It turns out that here, too, on the side of Chesed Gavri, there are 3 angels, Chagat, Gavri, Shami, and Ragashi. Also, Ragashi contains 12 in and of himself, and a single letter sparkles on their heads above, the letter He. It hangs in the air over all the other letters, Aleph, Lamed, as we said concerning the letter Dalet. Those 2 letters, Dalet, He, rise above all the others because they are Chesed and Gvura, Gar. And everyone travels to that sparkling which depends on that letter, He. 25. And inside it all, in a place called Holiness, in Bina, 1 letter sparkles in the concealment of holiness. This is the letter blocked Mem. The letter blocked Mem always shines on the left side of Bina. It sparkles in a sparkling over all the letters, Aleph, Lamed, Dalet, He, and a voice comes out from among them, the letters. Then the sparkling of this letter, blocked Mem, strikes and takes 2 other letters, which are sparkles that hang in the air, which are Dalet and He, leaving Aleph and Lamed, and they unite in those other ones on the right, which are Vav, Yod, Kof, Resh, Aleph, Vaikra. They strike one another, and the first letters, Vaikra, sparkle once more as before, coming out of the Malchut onto Moses. Then, and called unto Moses, meaning that the calling and invitation from Moses to come into the tent of meeting came out of these combinations. This is so because the letters Dalet and He are Gvura and Chesed in Gavri, Gar of the left, and the letters Aleph and Lamed are Malchut and Tiferet in Gavri, Vak of the left. Also, it is known that the illumination of Chochmah that shines in the left is only Vak de Chochmah, but the Gar de Chochmah have disappeared and do not shine. It is written that then the sparkling of this letter strikes, meaning the letter blocked Mem, and takes 2 letters, Dalet and He, leaving Aleph and Lamed because the letters Dalet and He are Gar that do not shine. This is why the blocked Mem concealed them, leaving only Aleph, Lamed, Vak, which are the letters of Vaikra on the right, Michael, and the letters El on the left, which are Gavri, from which the calling and invitation of Moses came out. The reason why the Zohar does not bring the other 2 angels, Uri and Rapha, which are Tum in the lower Merkava, is that in the 2 lines, right and left, the primary operators are Michael and Gavri, and Tum, meaning Uri and Rapha, only receive from them. There are no innovations in them, hence it did not bring them.
Is there anything to ask? Yes?
I have 2 questions if I can. This morning, you said we're not pushing on one another.
Not pressuring? Relative to what?
It's not clear. I didn't have to answer. What are we not doing right now? What's missing for us? What stress is missing?
Oh, you mean in a negative way, that a person doesn't feel that he's under pressure from the environment, yes?
What do you mean? What does it mean to pressure others?
Well, pressure.
How?
You don't understand what we're talking about?
No.
For him to feel that you and him are in this together in a special mission, and that you're expecting participation from him.
Okay, how to receive the pressure.
And then you need to try and locate his participation, and even if you don't locate it, You have to judge them to the scale of merit. They have eyes and they don't see, and work with him as if you are in participation, you just don't feel it.
You also said we need to catch the friend and shout to the Creator that will give us the strength to adhere to him.
The strength to what?
To be adhered to him, to the Creator. To grab the friend and to shout to the Creator that will give us the strength to adhere to him.
To adhere.
Yeah, to adhere.
Well,
What does it mean to grab the friend? How do you grab him?
that you want the Creator to give him the forces to adhere. The friend doesn't need to know about this, but that's how it is. In each and every friend in the 10, you have to relate to them that way.
To every friend.
Yes.
That's 10? Okay, thank you.
Yes? Okay? Well, let's go.
Article, I have come into my garden. Item 26. I have come into my garden, my sister, my bride. I have gathered my myrrh with my perfume. I have eaten my honeycomb with my honey. I have drunk my wine with my milk. Eat, friends. Drink. Drink abundantly, O beloved. In this verse, its beginning is not its end, and its end is not its beginning. It is written, I have eaten my honeycomb with my honey. I have drunk my wine with my milk. Afterwards, it writes, Eat, friends. One invites another to eat when the food is spread before him. But how can he invite another to eat if he has already eaten? And here it writes, I have eaten my honeycomb with my honey. I have drunk my wine with my milk, meaning he has already eaten. 27. However, happy are Israel, whom the Creator wishes to cleanse, and whom he has chosen of all the peoples. Once he has chosen them, he wished to remove them from all the slanderers in the world. On the day when the tabernacle was built below, another tabernacle was established with it above. When it writes only, the tabernacle was established, it is because it contains the tabernacle above as well, meaning Malchut, and that day was the Creator's day of joy. 28. When the tabernacle was established, it is written, Moses could not enter the tent of meeting. When the Creator saw it, he said, and if the tabernacle was established by Moses and he was outside, he promptly called Moses. He told him, Moses, the housewarming is with a meal, when any man of you brings an offering unto the Lord. For this reason he began to speak with him of offerings, which is a meal, for a sweet savour, an offering made by fire unto the Lord. This is the meaning of what is written, I have come into my garden, my sister, my bride. And this verse concerns the offerings. 29. I have come into my garden refers to the upper Garden of Eden. My sister, my bride, is the assembly of Israel, Malchut. For on the day when the tabernacle was established, couplings were made in all the Vak de Zeranpin, implied in the words, I have come into my garden. Couplings were made in the upper Garden of Eden of Zeranpin and Malchut, since they were all blessed by the potion of the stream, Bina, and were each tied to one's friend. As it is written, I have gathered my myrrh with my perfume, meaning that they all drank and were satiated by the spring of the stream, meaning zzsolt of Bina. 30. Eat, friends. Drink abundantly, O beloved. All the degrees below and beyond, all the branches are blessed and nourished when these Zeranpin and Malchut, implied in the words, I have come into my garden, are blessed above. They are blessed and perfumed by the scent of the offering. 31. When the assembly of Israel, Malchut, descended so as to instill her abode in the land, in the tabernacle, the Creator told her, Malchut, I have come into my garden, since blessings and joy were found in all the worlds, and Malchut is perfumed, so that blessings will emerge from her to all. This is because when these Vak de Zeranpin, implied in the words, I have come into my garden, are blessed, All the worlds together are blessed below and above, and Israel are blessed by all. It is written, I have come into my garden, my sister, my bride. Meaning that the Creator mates with the assembly of Israel. Malchut, only when these Vakdezaranpid implied in the words, I have come into my garden, are satiated by the potion of the ceaseless stream, Bina. 32. My sister, my bride, means Malchut, Adni. I have gathered my myrrh, is Chesed, is the degree of Abraham, of whom it was said, I will go unto the mountain of myrrh, Mount Moriah, with my perfume, means Netzach, Aaron's degree, of whom it is written, Take also for yourself the finest of perfumes, and they are a zivug of the right arm, Chesed, with the right thigh, Netzach. As it is written, In your right hand there are pleasures forever. And there are two blessings in correspondence with them in the 18 prayer. The first is Abraham's defendant, which is Chesed, and the second is work, as it is written, Do want, which is Netzach. 33. I have eaten my honeycomb is Gvura, called a fair of Isaac. With my honey is Chod, the degree of David. This is the zivug of the left arm, Gvura, with the left thigh, Chod. I have drunk my wine with my milk, is the Guf, body, Tiferet, and covenant is Yesod, Jacob, which is Tiferet, with Solomon, which is Yesod. Afterwards, eat, friends, drink abundantly, O beloved, which are 12 tribes and 12 blessings of the 18 prayer, with the addition of the blessing of the species, which is, let there be no hope for their accusers. Hence, I have eaten my honeycomb, who eats it? The one of whom it is said, I have come into my garden, my sister, my bride. 34. And some divide Vakdezaranpin differently. I have gathered my myrrh with my perfume, our Guf and covenant. Tiferet and Yesod, my honeycomb with my honey, are the right thigh with the left thigh, Netzach and Hod. My wine with my milk are the left arm with the right, Chesed and Gvura, where my wine is Gvura and my milk is Chesed.
Okay, yes.
Can we ask about the morning lesson? You said you need to grab the snake and turn it over so that you can have the poison, and from the poison it'll turn into a remedy. What is that? What toxin are you talking about?
It's written, I've created the evil inclination, I've created the Torah as a spice. So the evil inclination is kind of like the sick. And the Torah as a spice is the medicine. Well, so we need to heal the evil inclination.
She said to grab it, turn it over, so that it'll...
So how do we flip over the evil inclination to be a good inclination? By the Torah. Yes?
What's the toxin?
The poison in the evil inclination is in order to receive. Inclination is the desire, and for it to become in order to bestow it. We have to make it in order to bestow. The Torah doesn't do anything new, it just inverts the importance. It just brings the importance for bestowal.
Where's this snake found? Where is it? What does it mean to grab it?
The serpent is between us. It doesn't let us get closer to each other. Try to get closer to someone. Not a catastrophe. It's impossible because there's a certain insulation, and if you pressure it strong, you'll see that it's the snake. Yes?
And how do you grab it? How do you grab it?
How do we grab it? That's a profession already. I don't think that it's worth it for us to talk about it now. To grab it. We need to locate it first.
We're really looking to find him.
It's not yet the snake. You don't yet feel in that impossibility, in that resistance. You don't yet feel your hater in that.
And the hate you also feel.
You feel that too. Well, what do we do?
What do you do?
How is this hater built?
And he gets connections, completely not letting us to get closer, not letting us to do anything together.
Yes, well, and?
So we can try and rise above it. Or to notice, or to rise above it.
Yes, there are all kinds of forms of relations. You try to do it this way, or that way, or that way. Did you try to grab him by the tail or by the head?
No.
It doesn't go. Why?
I don't know how to grab it. It just disappears. You can't grab it. There's nothing to catch.
Where is it written? How do we grab the snake? Those that... the catchers of the snakes? Well? In short, we need to work on it. But it's already something.
It's the most important. If we can catch it, then we'll have what to do.
Yes. It's on the way. Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, Lev. Lev, you're also handsome and you're smart.
The main thing is that I'm good looking. Handsome.
The Creator went all in with you. When will we also be like that? That we'll understand what's written in the books. We'll feel or something. I'm mostly thinking about other things that are happening. That happen.
I will tell you. What do you need it for?
Friends, this is something you have to do.
If the friends want, then the friends. It's not your desire. What do you want it for? What do you have from wanting to understand what's written?
I don't know.
Meaning this desire is not scrutinized yet. It's not exactly clear. It's not strong. It doesn't stand out. But it's there.
No.
We need to bind the desire, understand creation with the means of how to understand it, how to understand creation. That it's only through this net, just like you catch fish. You need a net in which you catch all there is in all of reality. This net is the connection between us. Because we, as much as we seem like nothing, but we are the most developed of all of creation, and specifically between us. If we try to locate, we don't need to erect this net, but we need to recognize that it exists. Then inside this net we will start to feel how all of reality is connected. It's the main thing is that it's connected. The connection between things is what is important. Not each and everything, but the connection between them. That's where all the wisdom exists and all the attainment. That's it. So, well, and then when you start to see how this net connects everyone and how each of us influences this net and how the net responses and how it influences everyone, then you'll start to understand from that how the Creator works, what His nature is, why we're operated this way, and how accordingly He is operated by us. That's called the knowledge of divinity, the illumination of divinity. That's how it is. That's what we have to come to. That's the most important thing. because then you're in all of creation, and with it, you're sailing with every step, every change in it. You go and understand and feel and truly see the eternality of the matter. That's what the heart longs for. The point in the heart, that's what it wants. So we will learn and hope. Yes?
When other things are happening, it's difficult to concentrate.
That's not important to me, whether it's easy or difficult. I'm not going in the Zohar to try to understand something.
Not to understand, but to feel. People here, but I'm here. My body might be here, but my mind isn't.
You just need to expect that you will start to feel, and it has nothing to do with the text. It has to do with your desire, and the text is the most powerful to bring you to revelation. So it all depends now on your desire. Well, hang on. You found? Well, okay, the snake catchers. Yes, exactly. Bala Sulam in letter 10. He talks about the three signs, about the nations that are righteous. When he comes to pull this snake, when Moses, he would grab it by its tail and not by its head. Because one who's redeemed a falsehood, when he comes to save Israel, grabs the snake by its head to explode the head of the snake. Which is the way of all the snake catchers. But a true redeemer grabs him by his tail. According to the secret that this snake bends its head and beats with his tail. And he continues here. In short, we will learn how to do this. Okay, doctor? So the main is head, but the main thing is the tail. Okay? We will understand this later. Yes.
Student from Naui is asking, what's the correct use of the reading of Zohar? On what should be making our efforts between the readings in order to increase the influence of the reforming light?
Nothing. I just want it to influence me. It's so sublime that I don't even... I can't jump and I say, I want this, I want to understand that. Rather, nothing. Just for it to have an influence on me. How? I don't know. But as much as possible, I just know one thing, that from one state to another, from degree to degree, in 125 degrees, the gap between the degrees is when we are more united, more connected. And then between us, in a greater power, Havaya is revealed. And there is no more than Havaya. And therefore, that's what I need to be concerned with. To collect ourselves to Havaya. And in it, everything is revealed. Yes?
A different question to this asking. Is the network of connection between us, is that a means or the ends?
It's also a goal and also a means. A goal, so in this net of connection, all of reality is revealed. In it, I feel myself on behalf of the Kli. In it, I feel the Creator as the filler of all of this. But it's also a means, because in order to advance to adhesion, to the final true adhesion, I need to use it. Well, let's continue.
Reminding you all, we are at Zohar for all. Article, eat, friends, drink abundantly, O beloved. Item 35. Eat, friends, drink abundantly, O beloved, are all those who howl and wail, who extend from the left line, and on whom there are dinim of the left. This is why they always howl and wail, for they are perfumed and blessed together on the day when the tabernacle was established. This is so because everyone who enjoys the feast of the king, who is the middle line, they all eat when the king comes happy. Hence the king was made to be happy, and he first makes the queen happy. Afterwards, everyone eats and rejoices. 31. 36. Eat, friends, drink abundantly, O beloved. Our vak dezeranpin. Drink abundantly means from the wine that satiates all, from the illumination of Chokhmah. When these vak dezeranpin are blessed, all those below, meaning the angels and the souls in Beria, are blessed. 37. Eat, friends, is above, and drink abundantly, O beloved, is below. Above is a high place where they are in unity and in joy, where they never part from one another, meaning upper Abavima. They are the ones called friends, as it is written, and a river comes out of Eden. Eden is Abba, and the river is Ima. They never part, and they are always willing, united, and joyful. Drink abundantly, O beloved, means the beloved below, which are Zon, which bond for a time during the prayer, on Sabbaths and on good days, but not always, as do upper Abba Ve'ima. 38. It mentions eating in regards to upper ones, Abba Ve'ima, and not drinking, since one who has skin bottles of wine needs to eat. And because there is the kept wine there in upper Abba Ve'ima, it mentions eating in regards to them. But of the lower ones, Zon, which need watering, it mentions drinking because of all the planting that they need to water from the deep stream, Bina. Hence, it mentions eating in these and drinking in those. These upper Abba Ve'ima are called friends, and those, meaning Zon, are called beloved. Mochin de Chasidim are called eating. These are the mochin of upper Abba Ve'ima, Chasadim without Chokhmah, as it is written, for he delights in mercy. They are Avira, Tachiyah, and mochin of illumination of Chokhmah are called drinking, wine that rejoices, of the upper ones. In Abba Ve'ima it mentions eating but not drinking, since there is no drinking in upper Abba Ve'ima, which are illumination of Chokhmah, since the Yod does not exit the Avir in them. Thus, there is only eating in them, Chasadim. This is why it is written about them, eat, friends, since upper Abba Ve'ima are regarded as never having left the Rosh, Farichanpi. Also they clothe the Mocha Stima, called kept wine, which is why they have skin bottles of wine, and they need only Chasadim. But the lower ones, Zon, which need a portion, need Chokhmah. And as long as they have no Chokhmah, the Chasadim in them are considered vak without a Rosh. It mentions drinking in regards to them. Drink abundantly, O beloved, because they must receive Chokhmah from Yeshut, which is called a deep stream. Otherwise they are vak without Rosh. 39. Beloved are in a state of love. But why are they below? Why are they below? Those who crave for each other and are not always together are called beloved, meaning Zon, which are below Abba Ve'ima, and those who are always together and are not covered or separated from each other, meaning upper Abba Ve'ima, are called friends. Hence, these are beloved, and those are friends. Friends are always willing and in unity, and beloved are passionate at times, but not always. And this is the eating and drinking that are mentioned in the text, are the perfection of everything, so that the assembly of Israel, Malchut, would be blessed, and then there is joy in all the worlds. 40. Eat, friends, in offerings, since they are the feast of the king, to sacrifice before him. Also the litigants enjoy them. All are perfumed, and joy is in everyone. 41. Eat, friends. When divinity entered the tabernacle, when there were blessings and joy in all, and divinity entered the tabernacle as a bride under the chuppah. When Israel were completed below and united in the Creator in the land, it is written about that let them construct a sanctuary for me, that I may dwell among them. At that time, upper and lower are perfumed.
Okay, let's continue.
The buds have appeared on the earth. 42. The buds have appeared on the earth, and the voice of the turtle dove was heard in our land. it writes, have appeared on the earth. Why does it also write, was heard in our land? One use of land should have been enough. These buds are the plantings that the Creator uprooted and planted elsewhere, which grew as plants that produce flowers. First, the world was created in the quality of Din, in Malchut, which is the quality of Din. The Creator saw that the world did not persist, since Zeranpin and Malchut of the quality of Din are unfit to receive any light due to the Tzimtzum, restriction over them. He associated the quality of Rachamim, mercy, with it, which raised Malchut to Bina, where she was mitigated with the quality of Rachamim. At that time, they became fit for reception of Mochin from Bina. The buds are the plantings that the Creator uprooted, meaning Zeranpin and Malchut, which the Creator uprooted from the place of Malchut of the quality of Din and planted elsewhere, in Bina's place. And then they grew, bore fruits, and became like plantings when they produced flowers. 43. Appeared on earth, since earth, which is Malchut, that was blessed by Zeranpin and by Bina, is the Holy Land, the upper land. The time for pruning has arrived, meaning it is time to uproot the governance of the ministers of the peoples so they will not govern Israel, at the time when the tabernacle was erected. 44. And the voice of the turtle doves was heard in our land, in the land below, which is Israel inherited through Joshua. This voice of the turtle dove is the great tourist, the guide, Zeranpin, who is called Torah, and who mated with Malchut. When Solomon built the temple below, the Creator was crowned in his crowns, meaning Mochin Tegal from Ima, which are called crowns, as a groom and a bride. As it is written, go forth, O daughters of Zion, and gaze on King Solomon with the crown with which his mother has crowned him. 45. The voice of the turtle dove is the oral Torah, Malchut. The written Torah, Zeranpin, is simply called Torah. Oral Torah is called Tol, translated as Torah, turtle dove. It is like saying Veikal, Veikra. Veikra is perfection, but Yaikar is not. Similarly, Torah, Zeranpin, is perfection, and Tor, which is Malchut, is not perfect like him. 46. When divinity came down to the tabernacle, it writes, Moses had finished, without a vav in Hebrew, since she is Moses' bride, as Moses is Zeranpin, and Moses' bride is the assembly of Israel, Malchut. It is all one. And it was said unto the high king, this means that Moses is the high king Zeranpin. When the tabernacle was erected, Moses stood outside and said that it was inappropriate to enter unless by permission. Promptly. And the Lord called unto Moses. He called means the one in whose authority is the house, the bride, Malchut. And the Lord spoke unto him. That voice, Zeranpin, is the one to which Moses clung, since Moses is a Merkava for Zeranpin.
Okay, let's continue.
Why was there no man when I came? 47. Why was there no man when I came, when I called? Why was there none to answer? Is my hand so short that it cannot ransom? Happy are Israel, for wherever they are, the Creator is with them. And the Creator is among them, and boasts in them, in Israel, as it is written, Israel, in whom I will be glorified. 48. Israel. Moreover, Israel complement the faith, meaning Malchut, in the land. Israel the wholeness of the holy name, when Israel are compared by their good deeds. It is as though the holy name is completed, and when Israel are incomplete in their actions below and are forced to exile, it is as though the holy name above is incomplete. This is so because one goes up and the other goes down. When Israel above, meaning Zeranpin, depart and rise upwards, the assembly of Israel, Malchut, descends below, and they seem far removed from each other. And the holy name remains imperfect. It is all because the assembly of Israel is in exile. 49. And even though Israel are in exile, the Creator is among them, and comes and hurries to the synagogue, calling and saying, Return, O faithless sons, I will heal your faithlessness, and there is none to awaken his spirit. Then the Creator says, why was there no man when I came? When I called, why was there none to answer? I hurried, but there is no one whose spirit is awakening. An offering for the Lord. 50. On a day when the tabernacle was made good, the Creator hurried to be in it. Promptly, and the Lord called unto Moses, and spoke unto him out of the tent of meeting. And spoke unto him means he alerted him that Israel would sin before him, and that this tent of meeting would be mortgaged for their sins, and will not persist in their hands. As it is written, and the Lord spoke unto him out of the tent of meeting. He told him that it was destined to be mortgaged for the sins of Israel, and will not persist. But a cure for it is, when any man of you brings an offering unto the Lord, thus offerings protect everything. 51. The Korban offering should have been called Kiruv, bringing closer. Why is it called Korban? Korban means drawing closer of the holy Ktarim, the Sfirot Chagat Nehim, which come closer and connect to one another until they all become one in complete unification. When a holy name is properly corrected, when it writes an offering unto the Lord, it means Korban, the drawing closer of those holy Ktarim, Chagat Nehim, to Havaya, which is Rachamim, with a line, so the holy name is corrected, and to unite it properly, so as to find Rachamim in all the worlds. Then the holy name will be crowned in his crowns, meaning that everything will be perfumed. 52. All this is so that the Rachamim will awaken, rather than the Din. This is the reason why he is for Havaya and not for Elokim. Since Havaya indicates Rachamim and Elokim indicates Din, as Rachamim are what is needed rather than the Din. However, it is written, the sacrifices of God are a broken spirit. It writes, the sacrifices of God, and not the sacrifices of Havaya. 53. Also, it does not write the offering of God, but the sacrifices of God. Only the slaughtering is named after Elokim. This is why their slaughtering is in the north, since the north indicates the name Elokim, Din. Since offering is to that name, Elokim, which is the side of Gvurah, so it would be perfumed, and the spirit of Din would be broken. The Din would be weakened, and the Rachamim would overcome the Din. This is why it writes, the offering of God, to break the power and assertiveness of a harsh Din. It writes, a broken spirit, so that this forceful spirit of the Din will be broken, and its strength, spirit, and assertiveness will not increase. At that time, man should stand on the altar with a broken spirit and be ashamed of his actions, so that this assertive spirit will be broken. It is all in order for the Din to be perfumed and for Rachamim to prevail over the Din. 54. When any man of you brings an offering unto the Lord, what is of you? The writing comes to exclude Adam Rishon, who made an offering when the Creator created the world. He did not offer cattle or flock, but a horned ox with a single horn. When any man of you brings an offering, excluding Adam Rishon, who was not one of you.
מאמר גדול השם.
Great is the Lord. 55. A song, a psalm of the sons of Korah. This song is a praise that is greater than all other praises that the sons of Korah were rewarded with praising him. A song, a psalm, is a repetition. This indicates praise over praise, a praise divided into two praises. 56. The sons of Korah were rewarded with praising the assembly of Israel, for it is written, great is the Lord, and highly to be praised, in the city of our God, his holy mountain. When is the Creator called great? When the assembly of Israel Malchut is with him, as it is written, that he is great, in the city of our God, meaning he is great with the city of our God, Malchut. This is so because Zeranpin, which is called Havaya, is always in Chasadim, that are covered from Chokhmah. Chokhmah is Gar, called Gadlut. When he extends Chokhmah from Malchut, called the Assembly of Israel, he has Gar and he is called great. But without the Malchut he has no Chokhmah and he is not great, since Chokhmah appears only in the Sphira Malchut. 57. Why is it that we should say, in the city of our God? It would have been enough to say, in the city of his high holy mountain. Indeed, a city that is Malchut is called the fair of our God, and it is the praise of Israel. The writing teaches us that a king without a queen is not a king. He is not great, and he is not praised. Hence, anyone who is not male and female is devoid of praise, and is not considered a man. Moreover, he is unfit to be blessed. 58. It is written, this man was the greatest of all the sons of the east. It is written in the book Rav HaMemunah Zava that Job's mate was like him in the fear of the Creator, and he was called great because of his wife. Here too, great is the Lord, and highly to be praised. In what is he great? In the city of our God, his holy mountain. Malchut, the Creator, is called great from her perspective, since the Chokhmah is Gadlut, greatness, and does not pour onto Zeranpin unless he is with the Nukva. 59. This is why this praise is mentioned on the second day, because the first 3 days of the act of creation correspond to the 3 lines of Zeranpin, and the second day is the left line, from which Chokhmah extends to Malchut. As it is written, let his left hand be under my head. Why does it not say that it was good? If it is so important that Chokhmah extends from there, it is because they were destined to part. This means that as long as Zeranpin and Malchut did not part with each other, and Malchut, in whom there is Chokhmah, was cleaved to Zeranpin, and they were both one Partzuf, it was not good. As it is written, it is not good for the man to be alone. This is because when he is alone, and the Nukva was not yet taken from him, it is written, it is not good. This is why it is not right that it was good on the second day. 60. Great is the Lord, and highly to be praised. As it is written, he is great only when he is with the Malchut. Beautiful in elevation, the joy of the whole earth is the praise of the bonding between them, since beautiful in elevation is the Creator, and it is Tzaddik, Yesod Zeranpin. The joy of the whole earth is because when it is the joy of all, an assembly of Israel, Malchut is blessed.
A little bit more.
One who did not marry a woman is flawed. Well, does everyone hear? Do you hear? Okay, go on. Item 61. God in her palaces has made himself known as a stronghold. For lo, the kings assembled themselves. They passed by together. Netzach and Hod are called palaces, from which all the blessings are gathered, meaning the collection of joys that merge from there through that degree called righteous, Yesod. And there in Yesod the blessings gather to perfume this holy city, Malchut, to be blessed from there. For lo, the kings assemble themselves, are all the Sphirot of the king, Zeranpin, in one collective under the name King. Malchut too is called King, and it says kings of both of them, and these matters relate to another issue. 62. When a man corrects his actions through the offering, everything is perfumed, draws closer, and connects with one another in a perfect unification. As it is written, when any man of you brings an offering means connecting things properly. 63. When any man of you brings an offering means excluding one who did not marry a wife. Since his offering is not an offering, and there are no blessings in him, neither above nor below, this means that when it writes, when any man of you brings an offering, and he is different, not a human, and not included in man, divinity is not over him, because he is flawed, and called maimed. And one who is maimed is removed from everything, all the more so from the altar, from offering sacrifices. 64. and Nadav and Avihu prove, as it is written, then fire came out from before the Lord, since they were unmarried. This is why it is written, when any man of you brings an offering unto the Lord, man who has male and female is fit for offering this sacrifice, but none other. 65. Nadav and Avihu were so because they were unmarried. The incense is the highest of all offerings in the world, and through it, upper and lower are blessed. They were not worthy of offering that offering, which is above all offerings, since they were not married to a woman. Hence, they were not worthy of making an offering. All the more so for such high things as incense, for they were not worthy of having the world blessed through them. 66. Then fire came out before the Lord and consumed them. Why were they punished so harshly? It is like a man who comes to the queen to tell her that the king has come to her house to be with her and to rejoice with her. The man came before the king, and the king saw that the man was crippled. The king said, "It is dishonorable for me to come to the queen through this crippled man." In the meantime, the queen had fixed the house for the king, and when she saw that the king was ready to come to her, and that the man caused the king to depart her, she commanded that this man would be put to death. 67. Similarly, when Nadav and Avihu entered with incense in their hands, the queen Malchut was glad and fixed herself to receive the king's zeranpin. When the king saw that these men were flawed, the king did not wish to come to be with the queen through them, and the king departed her. When the queen saw that the king had left because of them, promptly fire came out from before the Lord and consumed them. 68. And all this is because one who is not married is flawed. He is maimed before the king, and the sanctity of the king departs him, and does not remain in the flaw. It is written about that, when any man of you brings an offering, meaning those who are called men, will bring an offering, and those who are not called men, the unmarried, will not bring an offering. 69. You shall bring your offering of cattle from the herd or the flock. Of cattle is general, and includes all kinds of beasts, pure and impure. From the herd and from the flock is particular. After the general, for the general contains only what is in the particular, meaning specifically those that are fit for eating, and those that are not fit for eating must not be an offering.
No, a little more.
Article, if his offering is a burnt offering. 70. If his offering is a burnt offering, it is written, for my thoughts are not your thoughts, nor are your ways my ways. For my thoughts are not. It writes my thought, without a vav. The thought of the Creator, which is the Sphira Chochmah, is superior, and the Rosh of everything. This is so because Partzuf Zeranpin begins from the Chochmah, and its Ketel is from Ima. From that thought, ways and paths extend to devise the holy name, and to correct in its proper corrections. And the potion of the Garden of Eden extends from that thought to water everything. And the upper and lower exist from that thought. Also the written Torah, Zeranpin, and the oral Torah, Malchut, were emanated from that thought. 71. Man's thought is the beginning of everything. Ways and paths extend from that thought to divert one's ways in this world and in the next world. And from that thought emerges the filth of the evil inclination to harm oneself and all others. Also transgressions, sins, and evil-doing come from that thought, as well as idolatry, incest, and bloodshed. It is written about that, for my thoughts are not your thoughts. 72. And because the thought is the beginning of everything, it writes in the beginning, if his offering is a burnt offering, since the offering atones for the thought, and it writes, from the cattle, but not all cattle, only a male bull, and not a cow, female. A male without blemish, he shall bring it. A male, and not a female. since the male is considered higher than the female. It is also so with the flock, not a female from the sheep and from the goats. 73. Everything that comes to a burnt offering is male and not female, since the burnt offering rises over the heart, meaning on the thought, which is above the heart. It is known that the one who stands over the heart is the thought, since the thought, which is chokhmah, is regarded as male and the heart as female, bina. The heart understands, for she receives from chokhmah. This is why a burnt offering rises up and they are all males, and this is why the writing begins with a burnt offering more than all other offerings, since the thought is the beginning of everything. 74. Thus, in the place of the thought above, he should have offered the burnt offering to the Sphira, Chokhmah. Why is it offered to zzsolt below? The beginning of everything is the thought. The Sphira, Chokhmah, is the beginning of Zeranpin, and the end of the thought is a place called morning. This is the end of the perfuming body, the Nukva, zzsolt, Siyum de Zeranpin, which is called a goof. Similarly, man's thought is the beginning of everything. The end of that thought is when the act that he contemplated is done. Then the thought is concluded. When is that? In the morning. As it is written, woe to those who scheme iniquity, who work out evil. When, on their beds, when morning comes, they do it. The morning light implies zzsolt. Hence the thought in the burnt offering rises to the place of thought, which is chokhmah, and the action of the offering approaches in the conclusion of the thought, which is zzsolt.
Okay? Yes.
Rav, in the morning you suggested to give to the priest everything that it needs. It's the necessities, because I really felt that if you try to take something from the beast, then in some way it finds a way to get it. But what do you do if the necessities grows?
If it's growing, it's not necessity.
The necessities is something that needs to be stable during the whole time. So I am taking something from the beast.
Where is he getting it if not through you? Give it the necessity it needs.
So you need to determine necessity and stay stable with it.
To define it is very simple. You take everything from it except for the necessary things for it. What are necessary? That you'd be happy to take even more, but the donkey won't exist without that.
And if I feel resistance?
Of course you'll feel resistance.
That's work?
It depends on how you say it. You could tell the donkey, look, you're a donkey, that's what you deserve. Meaning I'll care for you, you'll be healthy, you'll have food, sex, family, all kinds of things, what a person needs, in order to sustain oneself. All the rest is here. That's it. Well?
Article, she has fallen, she will not rise again. Item 75. The Virgin of Israel is a virgin that is blessed from the 7 Sfirot, Chagat Nehim de Zeranpin, and is called Batsheva, meaning Malchut. The Virgin below inherits 7 blessings for her. The words Son of Man take up a lamentation over. Son of Man take up a lamentation over. The Virgin of Israel are said about the assembly of Israel Malchut, but according to that the words she has fallen, she will not rise again, the Virgin of Israel, are perplexing. If the portion had been said as comfort, we would have said she has fallen, she will not rise again, rise, O Virgin of Israel. Yet a lamentation is said in this portion. 76. She has fallen, she will not rise again, the Virgin of Israel. One who is angry at his wife, and she leaves him, she will never return to him. Hence, woe unto the sons that have exiled with her. 77. Woe unto a generation where no shepherds are found, and the flock wander and roam, and do not know to which place they roam, neither to the right nor to the left. Certainly, this verse should be known, and it is all revealed to those who see in the way of Torah, in the way of truth. 78. In all of Israel's exiles, he set a time and an end to all of them. In all of them, Israel returned to the Creator, and the Virgin of Israel, Malchut, returns to her place at the set time. But now, in the last exile, it is not so. She will not return, as in the other exiles. This verse teaches she has fallen. She will not rise again, the Virgin of Israel, and does not say she has fallen, and I will not raise her again. 79. It is like a king who was angry with the queen and expelled her from her palace for a certain period of time. When that time was through, the queen would immediately come and return before the king. This was once so, twice and thrice. But on the last time she became remote from the king's palace, and the king expelled her from his palace for a long time. The king said, "This time is not as like the other times, when she came before me. Instead, I and all my household will go and seek her." 80. When he reached her, he saw that she was lying in the dust. Who saw the glory of the queen at that time, and the king's requests of her? Finally the king held her in his arms, raised her, and brought her to his palace. And he swore to her that he would never part from her again, and will never be far from her. 81. It is similar with the Creator. Every time the assembly of Israel were in exile, she would come and return before the king. But now, in this exile, it is not so. Rather, the Creator will hold her by the hand, and will raise her, appease her, and bring her back to his palace. Come and see that this is so, for it is written, "She has fallen, and she will not rise again." Meaning on her own. This is why it is written, "In that day I will raise up the fallen tabernacle of David." I will raise up the tabernacle of David. Who is the tabernacle of David? It is the Virgin of Israel. Fallen means that she fell, and this is the honor and praise of the Virgin of Israel, that she will not rise again by herself, but rather the Creator will raise her. 82. This must certainly be the meaning of the thing. The Creator is destined to declare the assembly of Israel, and said, "Shake yourself from the dust, arise and sit up, O Israel," as one who holds his friend by the hand and says, "Get up, shake yourself off." Similarly, the Creator will hold her and say, "Shake yourself from the dust, arise." 83. Also all those sons of the king's palace begin to speak with her in these words, as it is written, "Arise, shine, for your light has come, for the king is here." Certainly at the time when the king makes peace with her, it is her glory and everyone's delight. In all the other times she came before the king and rose before him, as it is written, "And she came into the king's presence, and stood before the king." But this time it was not so. Rather the king will come to her, and will appease her, and bring her back to his palace. As it is written, "Behold, your king will come unto you." Certainly, and not you to him. He will come to you to appease you. He will come to you to raise you. He will come to you to compliment you in everything. He will come to you to raise you to his palace, to bond with you in everlasting bonding for all times, as it is written, "And I will betroth you to me in faithfulness." The sound of the shofar, horn, grew louder and louder. 85. The sound of the shofar grew louder and louder. The sound of the shofar is tiferet and bina. The sound of the shofar is the sound that comes out of the shofar, when the voice, zeranpin, comes out of the shofar, which is bina, for bina is certainly called shofar, as it is written, "A great horn shall be blown." Bina is a great shofar, and in it the slaves emerge to an eternal freedom. This is so because the 50th year is Bina, which shines and brings the slaves out to freedom. In it, all the enslaving klipot are cancelled by her lights. 86. There are those who learn that they are all one, meaning a sound that is called shofar, which is Bina. This is because it is written, with a great voice he added no more. A great voice is Bina, which is called shofar. This is why it is written, the sound of the shofar grew. Where is it walking? If you say that it is to Mount Sinai or to Israel, it should have said descending. But the Torah comes out of Bina, and the word walked relates to the Torah. Since the Torah was given from this place, Bina, the sum of all the sounds. 87. The Torah came out of Bina. The first tables were written from Bina. When it writes, Harut, engraved on the tables, do not read it Harut with a kamatz, but rather Chirut with a tzerech. It is actual freedom, since it is the place upon which all the freedom depends, for there is no freedom from all the klipot unless through the lights of Bina. Also, there is nothing in the Torah that is divided or that does not go into one place, Malchut, or does not gather in one wellspring, which is zzsolt. 88. The sound of the shofar grew. As it is written, all the rivers run into the sea, to Malchut. It is also written that everything goes into one place. Grew louder and louder is the Bina, that blocked Mem, which indicates that there is nothing in the Torah that is weak or broken. When you observe and know it, you will find it as strong as a hammer that breaks the rock. And if it is weak, it is from you. As it is written, for it is no vain thing for you. And if it is empty, it is from you. This is why the writing says, grew louder and louder.
Well, do you want a little bit more?
Moses' voice. 89. It is written, Moses spoke, and God answered him by a voice. Sublime things, sublime meanings are included in this place. God answered him by a voice means Moses' voice. The voice which Moses gripped, zeranpin, which is called voice, but it is to the contrary, as it is written, and God spoke. While it writes, Moses spoke. 90. However it is written, and they said unto Moses, You speak with us, and we will hear, but let not God speak with us. Hence Moses spoke, and God answered him, which was not so before when it was written, and God spoke. This is so because there is nothing in the Torah that comes only from the mouth of Moses. The curses in Deuteronomy were said by Moses himself. By himself means that these curses in Leviticus were said by the Gvura, Malchut, and the ones in Deuteronomy were said by him himself by the voice to which he gripped, zeranpin. 91. Even though the Torah was said entirely by the Gvura, which is Malchut, it was also said by Moses himself, with zeranpin, like the curses in Deuteronomy, and afterwards they were included in the Gvura, as it is written, Moses spoke, and God answered him by a voice. Moses spoke is Moses, meaning zeranpin's voice. And God answered him by a voice is Gvura, who thanked that voice, as it is written, answered him by a voice, Moses' voice.
הנה מה טוב שבט אחים גם יחד הנה מה טוב מנעים שבט אחים גם יחד הנה מה טוב מנעים שבט אחים גם יחד הנה מה טוב שבט אחים גם יחד הנה
נעבור עכשיו לסעודה. הירידה לסעודה היא דרך המדרגות.